Go. We are coming in crisp and clear. Can everyone hear me? That's what I like to hear. Sorry about that. We had to do a little bit of troubleshooting here, and we're about like 2 days and 30 minutes late, but we made it in here, chat. How's everyone? How's everyone's Thursday? It ain't hump day, and it ain't Friday. But it is fucking Thursday, and it's Watch Club. Season 1, Episode 4. We're still going to be doing Empresses in the Palace, particularly episodes 15 through 19. And we're going to be starting off with a little bit of review, a little bit of commentary, a little bit of fork biting, if you will, straight into this delicious homemade food. And without being said, let's get it in. So first off, we're starting off with episode 15. And like in the beginning of episode 15, shit looks sweet, right? Noble Lady Huan is all cuddled up with the Emperor. The bad guys, concubine Beauty, companion you, or not companion, chosen maid you, have been dealt with. All seems fair and well, alright? But this would not be a K-drama, a C-drama, without the drama. And immediately, like, I knew something was up when both Noble Lady Huan and the Emperor had ran into Companion on at the time, and they just so happened to be going to why can't I remember names? This is so embarrassing. Sorry, chat. But yes, Noble Lady Huan and the Emperor ran into Companion on their way to going to Companion Shen. And what I wanted to know was why they just so happen to run into each other when they don't even cross paths on a daily basis. Like, Companion on is somewhat of, like, I don't like her. So, I don't know. I feel like Noble Lady Huan doesn't like her either and is seeing her for who she really is. She's noticing these things about her, and she's kind of like distancing herself from both Noble Lady Huan and Noble Lady Shen, and it's for good reason. She is kind of fake. She seems fake, and it just so happens that her and Noble Lady Huan have run into each other on their way to see Noble Lady Shen, and that just lets me know the drama's about to fucking hit the fan. The shit's about to hit the fan, and sure enough, it does. And honestly, I know for a fact that Consort Hua cannot like go a day without sowing discord, and literally a day out of confinement, she's sowing discord. And honestly, going into the next scene in that room with everyone surrounding, like, I keep calling her Noble Lady Shen, but I forget she has an honorary name. It's Noble Lady Hui. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. So in that scene with everyone surrounding her, it really broke my heart because, like, of course, we knew some shit was gonna happen. Literally, Consort Hua is like smiling so like giddily in the back and just like cheesing, and you know something's about to happen. And they're also talking about good cooks in that scene, and I'm eating too. What are the odds? Got a little bit of plantain, a bit of rice and peas, some pork. It's really good. It's not what they would eat, which is fine. It's what I'm eating, and it's great. Moving on, chat. I'm not trying to tease you with my delicious home-cooked meal. Like I was saying, we knew some bullshit was about to happen. We saw Consort Hua cheesing in the back. She's like trying to banter with Noble Lady Huan, and it's like obvious that like her plan is about to like take full motion. And sure enough, we get this really traumatizing news that Noble Lady Hui wasn't actually pregnant. And people are all of a sudden, people being Consort Hua, saying that she's taken advantage of the situation to gain favor. She feigned her pregnancy to gain favor. And it's really fucked up because we see, like, Companion An's reaction was really shit too. She's completely, like, disentangled herself from Noble Lady Hui. She pretends to stand up for her, which once again goes back to the fakeness I was talking about, fake ass. Can't trust her for shit. And then, also, there was a maid that was, like, sneaking around that, like, pretended to have, like, her menstruation clothes, which is embarrassing enough, right? But she has her menstruation clothes, and she literally, like, throws them in front of, like, the emperor and all the women in the harem. To be like, oh, my bad. Well, not my bad, but, oh, excuse me, I was just trying to do something right quick. You know what I'm saying? Trying to feign innocence, like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. And it, like, is what initially leads to all this bullshit. And I'm like, they're just hitting Noble Lady He left and right from, like, this mental trauma of being this, like, mother, soon to be expectant mother, to, you were, my lady, you were bleeding, you knew this was a lie, how could you pretend to not know, to then immediately having, like, a friend, quote unquote friend, disentangle herself from her. Like, she's getting hit left and right, and I feel so bad. Like, it really broke my heart. And, like, I've seen quite a few C and K dramas, and I've seen some fucked up shit, but this is one of the saddest scenes too. And if you've seen Ru Yi's Royal Love, oh, there's some real fucked up scenes in there. Like, the Tianlong Emperor is a fucking asshole compared to the Yongzhen Emperor. It's crazy. But moving on, I don't want to keep breaking my heart all over again. Oh well. So my next thing was, like, how do we recover from this blow? Noble Lady Hui has been demoted. She has been isolated. She no longer has her honorary name, so that's why I was confusing her names initially, because I forgot she got demoted, like, immediately into this episode. And she's now Companion Shen. So she's been isolated, she's been demoted, her honorary name has been removed from her, you know, so her status and her power has taken a complete blow. She's been humiliated in front of her friends and the other women in the harem. How do we recover from that, chat? I don't know how. Shit. I'll probably be crying in the palace, to be honest. Eating plantain and rice. Also, like I said, the trauma of quote-unquote being pregnant, but then, like, your own maid, once again, like, tells you, what do you mean? You know you weren't pregnant. This was all part of the plan, right, my lady? Like, and then the doctor, which I told you we couldn't trust this fucker. I know we couldn't. I'm always going to be able to point out the fakies because it's so obvious. It's so obvious that they're there to just, one, either get money or fame or favor. They can't even find the doctor that was treating her, so she can't even back up her story by saying, like, no, he told me this. And so it's like, it's just, what do we do, chat? But yes, once again, we have updated ranks. Noble Lady He has been demoted to Companion Shen. Excuse me. And has been isolated off into the palace. No other updates for the harem. Same ranks for everyone. Noble Lady Huan is still Noble Lady Huan. She didn't really take much of a hit from this, which is, I wouldn't say it, which is surprising because obviously the Emperor favors her. But I would have thought that Consort Hua would try and, like, implicate her a little bit more. But I'm pretty sure that's coming up. We'll wait on it. I'm sure it's coming up. But I like to point out too that Concubine Jing, or if you're reading the subtitles, you're doing English subtitles. Concubine Esteem is one of the good guys. LOL. We see that she kind of steps out of her like subservient role to kind of lend a hand and express to express a little bit of doubt on what initially is happening, but also to kind of lend a hand to Nobility One, because she knows this is bullshit. Some of the older women in the harem recognize the tricks and the plots of Consort Hua. It's not the first time that they've seen some shit like this happen, and I love that. I really do love that. Let's take a water break. Whew. And then she also like recognized the like I was saying, like they couldn't find her doctor. They had Consort Hua's bullshit doctors from the imperial harem make up this bullshit story, but Concubine Jing, she recognized like the flaw in that, like they weren't necessarily her attending physician, so why would they know all this information? But alas, it didn't really like amount to much, because as is, Consort Hua is so much in favor, and like her family is so much more needed by the emperor that he can't really excuse me, I mean he could, but he won't really do much of an investigation. He's gonna take her word, and he did. He demoted Noble Lady Hui to companionship, isolated her off from anybody visiting her, and just was case closed. Nothing after that. But like I said, going back to what I was saying, Concubine Jing is pretty much a light in this dark ass tunnel. She's gonna be able to, well, hopefully she'll be able to you know, give supplies or check on Noble Lady Shen, or Noble Lady Shen, excuse me, Concubine Shen. All these names, chat, all these titles. Companion Shen. Hopefully Concubine Jing will be able to check on Companion Shen for us in the meantime and take care of her for us, or better said, for Noble Lady Huan in the meantime, so nothing really befalls her. She doesn't get mistreated, or worst comes to worst, killed off while in isolation, because you know that's pretty much what Consort Hua is gonna aim for, is trying to kill off all the like friends of Noble Lady Huan. Just you know, it's pretty much what they're setting up this like entire drama to be. The constant back and forth of factions of Zhen Huan and like whoever is the next antagonist, because I'm sure Consort Hua is not the only antagonist for 76 episodes. No way. I digress. I wanted to note too that Consort Hua tried to kill off the attending doctor, the attending physician for Concubine Shen, or for Companion Shen, and but he like ran. So I doubt they're gonna find him, because like he got lucky, he got off scot-free and like ran, and is probably gonna be in hiding. So I doubt we'll ever really be able to uncover more from this investigation unless we force a confession out of the peoples around Consort Hua. I love that Noble Lady Huan is also doing what she can as well, like in the background. Like she's obviously like hands tied, because like she is somewhat associated and close to this investigation, just because she's friends with Companion Shen, but she's still having her family try and track down the attending physician, which once again I doubt they'll find his ass because that boy gone. But sorry, water break, a little bit of water. Sometimes, child, I really feel like I'm a fish. I drink water like I'm gonna like sidebar here. Sometimes I really feel like I'm a fish. I drunk like 3 bottles of water already today. It's not even like 5 o'clock yet. It's not even the evening. I don't know if that's good or bad. Maybe I'm boasting. Maybe I'm flexing for no reason. But anyways, I digress. Moving on. One of the things I also noted too was Consort Chi, or once again, Ostus if you're reading the subtitles, is going to be a problem. She's not necessarily siding with Consort Hua. She's not like necessarily by any means, you know, like how do you say, taking advantage of this situation in favor of Consort Hua. She's taking advantage of it in favor and kind of backing up the Empress whenever. Like, if we remember, the Empress doesn't give 2 shits about Consort Chi. Like, she doesn't give a fuck about her. She barely cares for her son. She was literally even saying, third Prince Hongxi was inferior to her deceased son in an episode, and I was just confused as to why Consort Chi follows her around and kind of like backs her up in such a way. But I realized that she, in the same way that Noble Lady Sao kind of is an underling, is a flunky of Consort Hua, she's a flunky of the Empress, and is probably like in a way saving herself and her son a spot, you know, and a spot meeting, you know, being able to live a comfortable life in like their prime age. She's basically saving herself from like any like unnecessary like rivalry and attacks by being under the Empress in this way. But I really think she's gonna be a problem. But that was pretty much all that happened in episode 15. Sorry, chat, I didn't even introduce it. It was episode 15, by the way. Empresses in the Palace, episode 15, which is actually all 76 episodes are on Letev, I believe, or LETV on YouTube. You're gonna have to deal with some janky subtitles, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, that was pretty much all I had for episode 15. It was pretty simple, pretty short. Like, I really have like no idea what we're gonna do to save companionship at this moment, because like I try not to read too much into the lore, and though I am past this episode, I'm only past this episode for like 4 or 5 more episodes, and I'm really hoping she does not like fall into the Cold Palace and goes insane. Like, that's one thing I cannot stand. I hate that plot line. I feel like they can always do a little bit more with this, and that's kind of my fear, that they're gonna kill her off like really quick in order to give like quote unquote plot armor and therefore push in plot for Noble Lady Wan. I hope they don't do that, but that's just my prediction. But yeah, moving on, we're going to episode 16. Episode 16, once again, can be found on Letev or LETV on YouTube. We see both Concubine Jing and Noble Lady Wan pacifying the Emperor initially, but also covertly helping Companion Shin's situation, which is what I was hoping was gonna happen. I hope that with the favor and like the love that Noble Lady Wan received, she would be able to help, but not too much. But also Concubine Jing, because she is obviously older, she's been in the harem longer, she's higher rank, she'd be able to move some weight to be able to help companionship situation, which is happening. So 1 point in our favor for companionship. Moving along. True Evil, that is Consort Hua, is always there to plot against them, we know. But I really think she's gonna like have to, I don't know, because she's gonna have to cover her tracks. Because then I was thinking, yeah, the doctor escaped, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna pop up and like rat her out for trying to kill him, right? Like, that seems plausible. But anyway, Noble Lady Sao was fucking ridiculous. She should have just sat there and ate her damn food, honestly. Like, now she has her daughter being taken away from her, and like, I guess, I don't know if it's because she's like trying to punish her at the same time being like trying to assert her authority, her being Consort Hua. But Consort Hua is fucking crazy. Like, she just straight up took her daughter, like, out of a fit of rage. Because, I don't know, the plan that Noble Lady Sao suggested wasn't good enough. But this is why I feel like Noble Lady Sao is also culpable in some of these plots. Because she really just needs to shut the fuck up. Like, she really just could dumb down some of these fucking, suggestions that she's given her. Because I feel like it would save her the trouble of having to deal with like the brunt anger and brute force. Well, maybe not. Who knows? Consort Hua is unpredictable, but hopefully it would save her. Anyways, Consort Hua, I hope she takes care of that damn child. Cause I'm looking at the replay of the video. Excuse me, and even she can't even hold Princess Winnie properly, and I'm just like, this child probably gonna die. But yeah, like I was saying, I really hope she like take care of Princess Winnie, because like I doubt she's so unpredictably evil and like cruel. I doubt she would give a damn about this child, even though she claims to like, you know, want an heir of her own, and like everyone else's child would never be as good as hers, blah blah. You know, like I feel like this lady has no interest in this child's future other than just using her as like a play toy. And I'm scared. I was worried for Companion Shen, but now I'm worried, I'm worried for both Companion Shen and Princess Winnie. Anyways, moving on. See, this is what I meant by like fake. Like, we just saw fucking Companion An and her maid talking about, oh, what good was it being a friend of Companion Shen while she was in favor, blah blah blah. But she's in front, smiling, all teeth, all fucking how many ever teeth humans have, in concubine Wan's face, Noble Lady Wan's face, smiling in Noble Lady Wan's face, you know, sewing clothes for her, pretending to care, you know. And it's really sick to me, because I really hate people like that. You don't need people like that in your life, chat. People like that are sick, and they'll more than likely drag you down with their bullshit. I digress. We're moving on, chat. What really gets me is, this is what I mean with Consort Hua. In the next scene, we see that she's giving sedatives, I guess, or not sedatives, sleep aids to a child. Like literal diluted sleeping pill water to make the baby go to sleep. Where is CPS, chat? Where is the ancient Chinese imperial version of CPS? Because that child is gonna die. What the hell? Moving on. Next scene is completely different. It's a beautiful intimate moment between the Emperor and Noble Lady Wan. And I am noticing in these intimate moments that the Emperor's face is, for the most part, like really fucking blank. Like, no eyebrow movement. Like, eyes don't move left or right. Mouth barely opens. And I don't know if that's on the actor's part, or if he's like always trying to portray this stoic, unreadable expression. I'm genuinely not like I'm not like saying the actor can't act, like he doesn't have facial expressions. I'm just saying in his own method acting way, I guess, if that is his portrayal of a stoic emperor, because it's weird to me. Because why are you this stone-faced in intimate moments when you're in bed with your woman? Can you crack a smile, please? Oh, moving on. Next scene, we finally get to see some cracks in Consort Hua's exterior. I really predict, and this is my next prediction, because the drama hints at it in a really funny way to me. We get to see the cracks in her exterior in the sense that she knows that the Emperor cares for his children. She knows that anything were to happen to Winnie, like, she'll be held responsible. Like, and I wonder if she, like, is doing this on purpose to try and garner sympathy from him, because she's taking care of Winnie and she's like, I would never do this. And, you know, I'm working hard and I don't understand what's going on. Or if she's just, like, once again, genuinely displaying cracks in her armor to because she's afraid like the emperor is gonna like come down hard on her, and it's like, oh shit, we need to stop. And it's also backed up because like, you know, that night the emperor literally ups and leaves in the middle of the night to go stay with Noble Lady Huan because there's like a thunderstorm and he knows she's gonna be like afraid and crying, so he ups and leaves Consort Hua's bed for Noble Lady Huan in the middle of the freezing night, and she starts crying. And that's why I'm like, I wonder if she's like really afraid that she's losing the emperor and he's gonna come down hard on her and like no longer favor her and whatnot, or if she's just trying to garner favor with Wendy through her tears and everything, and this is just her facade and like totality, like she just not give a shit. And like there is a scene where she's crying with her maid Songju, and she's tearful, but then like she immediately flips the switch and starts going into a rage and like throws things around. And that's why I'm like, I don't think this woman, you know, really cares. She's pretending like she does, or maybe she's lying to herself and she thinks she does, but she doesn't care about shit other than just power and just outright favor and the power that comes within the ability to like control and have complete control over others' lives and stuff. For instance, Princess Wenyi. But moving on, it's entertaining. It's really entertaining to see how like envious the attention Noble Lady Huan gets. Or excuse me, the envious the attention. It's really funny to me how envious Huan Bi, her name is Jade in the subtitles, but Huan Bi gets from the attention that Noble Lady Huan gets. And I'm pretty sure Huan Bi is about to become a problem. We were just stating how Consort Chi is going to be a problem, but we need to look out for Huan Bi, and I just wanted to notate that because she's her half-sister, you know, and for the most part, Noble Lady Huan treats her very, very well, even for a maid. She doesn't really have her do strenuous, like, hard labor. She's always, you know, getting half of, like, the dowry, half of, like, the monthly, allotments, whether it's money, fabrics, or, like, dyes or stuff, you know? So, I really want to, notate that because it's something that I don't know if she's gonna become like an in-house spy where she's gonna portray Noble Lady Huan or whatnot, but I'm noticing that, and it's making me a little nervous because once again we just had the downfall of Companion Shin, and I'm pretty sure with the way Companion An is acting and the way Huan Bi is acting, maybe Concubine Huan is up next, or Concubine Huan, Noble Lady Huan is up next. But moving on. Companion An is still continuing to be this two-faced person throughout the entire episode, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be her entire, like, persona. That's just who she is. Just wanted to point that out. Like, she's trying to be the sworn sister, you know, to Noble Lady Huan, and by extension somewhat Companion Shin. But it's really just so she can get into the graces and, you know, therefore the sights of the Emperor. But what's funny is, like, the Emperor doesn't really care for Companion An. He doesn't really notice her beauty. He doesn't really notice, like, anything about her voice, her walk. She doesn't have a distinguished family background. And she had to get help from Noble Lady Huan in order to catch the eye of the Emperor. She knew that she's a good singer, and she knew that she's able to just kind of carry a tune in a really, like, I wouldn't say sultry because that's not really what, but like coy manner. But dun dun dun, as always, Consort Hua is just walking in, strutting over, destroying everybody's fucking peace and happiness. And the combo that we have while Noble Lady Huan is servicing the Emperor is pretty much like the cherry on top, and a little bit of an enlightenment of how he's gonna handle the rest of this. He knows that he knows that there's strife. He knows there's tension between Consort Hua and Noble Lady Wan, and he probably knows that even though he favors Consort Hua because yeah, her beauty's nice and her she's like nice to look at, and she's been in his life for a long time. He really is just using her for her family. And it's interesting to see that the conversation that they have kind of demonstrates that at the end of the day, you know, between me and or between you being Noble Lady Wan and Consort Hua, I would still choose you. I may on the surface choose her because of her family, but in my heart, I'm with you. And I'm hoping that's gonna be the tone for this series. I hope he doesn't eventually like cast her aside because there's like a newer, prettier, younger girl in the palace, because that'd suck ass. That would really suck. And that's like, we could do better than that drama plot lines. We could do better than that. But regardless, we're gonna give 10,000 points to Gryffindor because, as always, Noble Lady Wan had a really awesome comeback. She did elevate Companion on a bit, and that was able to kind of get her in the graces of the Emperor, you know? But my final thoughts, because we're at the end of this episode, Jade is going to be a problem, like I said. She's spoiled. She has an air of I'm better than most because even though she's a maid, she gets treated like that of a daughter of an influential family, and you know, she has a habit of bad mouthing people. So, you know, Jade's probably gonna be a bit of an issue in the next or in the few coming episodes. Other than that, Companion Shin is still down and out, but Companion on her two-faced ass, by extension, with Noble Lady Wan will be helping her in the future, I'm sure, and they're already kind of like sowing their seeds to garner favor in the future with the help of Consort Jing. We just finished with episode 16 of Empresses in the Palace, and we are currently moving on to episode 17. The first thing in episode 17 that immediately caught my eye, like the first thing, was these maids, these eunuchs, and these servants. They will quite literally be the death or the making of their masters. They literally add nothing but fuel to the fire. They are messy in general, and like there are a few like cool-headed ones. There are a few that do not like, in the sense, like, not that they don't agree with their master's decisions, but there are some that are very neutral and cool-minded, and they will think about things in a fair manner rather than just solely in favor of their masters. Such good food, chat. Oh, did I tell you there was tamales too? I have tamales. So good. But moving on. The next thing that we wanted to talk about for episode 17 was the Empress's way of like talking / teaching, I guess. Noble Lady Wan, very subtle, very underlined with a threat, and very much a message directly sent toward Noble Lady Wan, letting her know like, hey, watch yourself. And I don't know why she's so threatened by her. Quite literally, you need to be focused on Consort Hua, but it just proves that like the Empress, one, not to be trusted, but two, any and every person receiving favor is also a threat to her, is very much a threat to Consort Hua. And she probably has done some evil deeds, if that is to be true. If my speculations are correct, chat. Because they are speculations. Moving on. Just as we see, like, Noble Lady Sao, like, act on behalf of Consort Hua. This is what I meant by Consort Chi acts and also speaks on behalf of the Empress. Like, well, one, both are used as pawns. Both are used as like a way to better, like, or a way to help their betters and like help their betters gain favor. The Empress, in a way, like, doesn't do much of a hands-on approach the way Consort Hua does. I noticed she kind of allows things to like take place as is, and then will allow her flunkies to do what they think would be right for her. And if it doesn't work out, then maybe she'll step in. But for the most part, it does work out, because for the most part, her flunkies do know what she wants. They know how she got into that position in the first place, and they know how to help secure it for her. So hey, Consort Chi, Nobility Sao, probably two of the more vicious and probably two of the more likely candidates to watch out for, in the sense that they'll attack or go after Noble Lady Wan on behalf of their masters. So yeah. Moving on. The next thing that really I forgot this part. Hold on. I was about to skip over this. But really got me in this episode, and it was almost like a really funny jaw drop that I noticed. The Emperor can be really cruel, and I was funny how I noticed that last episode he wasn't as expressive. This episode, this man was the most expressive, okay? Rude as fuck. Like, he straight up told, like, he should have told Consort Chi, like, she doesn't do it for him, right? He's just like, why are you here? Like, we already know what it is. I'm so, like, she receives favor, obviously, because she's the only one that has an adult son by the Emperor, but that's about it. And I just find it funny. And the banquet scene. Sorry, chat. I'm also eating, tamales. Tamales are bussin'. But in the banquet scene, notice that Huan Bi stayed behind after her mistress wanted to leave, which is such a weird, like, I wouldn't say breach of protocol, but such a weird dynamic between the two, because normally if your mistress is like, oh, I'm leaving, you would be like, oh, yeah, let's go. Woo-hoo. Like, you're jumping. When they say jump, you're like 10 feet in the air by the time the J has popped out of her mouth. Like, but we see that she allows Huan Bi to do it. She's like, all right, okay. And it's like, it's fine and all, but to me, I wanted to note that because this is one of the exceptions I was talking about, and how, because she is Huan Bi's half sister, she kind of gets away with a little bit more. And this is also how I know Huan Bi's using it to her advantage, because why do you want to stay behind at the banquet? What's so pertinent? Who are you, or what are you staring at that's at the banquet, Huan Bi? Anybody in particular? Anybody you want to point out? No? Okay. Moving on, chat. So, after the banquet, or not after, while the banquet's happening, after Noble Lady Wan left, she kind of ran into, or not kind of, she walked into a courtyard, and Prince Gao was just happened to like come in behind her after noting that she was just standing and like kind of lingering to the side. And I just like the relationship between them two. I don't know what's happening there, but something's happening there. Something's happening there. And I say that because I feel like the discourse is like, I wouldn't say flirty. I don't know, chat. Am I tripping? No, because like I really feel like the way they talk to each other is a little bit more than just brother, sister-in-law. But she observes formality. She observes the decorum of a married woman. She doesn't get close. And I just want to know, like, does that become something? Because it's very interesting to see how their relationship develops. Like, I know for a fact that he may like her a little bit, but I don't know if she likes him. She very much seems to be in love with the Emperor. And it's interesting to see if he will become like her ally in a way because he likes her, or an enemy because she doesn't like him, from what I'm observing. Who knows? Maybe she does like him. Chat, when I tell you can find somebody, and I mean anybody, who can cook you damn good tamales, you better fucking keep them, okay, chat? I've had like 2 today, and I'm thinking about going back for my 3rd. Because they're a little mid-size, they're not super huge, but oof. This is about to turn into an ASMR stream with the way I'm eating, chat. Food's too good. It's too good. If you ever find a special individual who loves you enough to make you great food, you should probably marry them. You should probably get down on your knees, admit defeat, and marry them immediately. Moving on. I don't want to keep you too long, chat. Anyways, as we see, a little bit after the banquet, the emperor is talking with the empress. They're having their daily little breakfast, and dun dun dun, as the empress brings up the topic of Wenyi, or Princess Wenyi, excuse me, we see Consort Hua and Noble Lady Sao bring Wenyi in, and he's trying to like pacify her. He's trying to get her to calm down. She's like kind of like whining. He doesn't really understand why she's acting so what a baby exactly whiny right now. Like, he doesn't understand why she is so agitated, and he gets concerned, so he starts asking questions, and eventually she starts vomiting, and that kind of scares both Noble Lady Sao, both Consort Hua, the Empress, because the Empress is in the room. And then it also truly terrifies the Emperor, because once again, that's his it's his daughter, and for a lack of like love and favor in his mom or her mom's direction, he truly does love Princess Wenyi, and he only wants the best for her. So he orders an investigation. He's immediately like, how dare they try to kill my daughter? Once again, these fucking head doctors that Consort Hua was using against Companion Shin, she is now using in this covertly, like, using them covertly in a way as to, test the food of Wenyi to see what is wrong. But we know, like, they're obviously gonna say what she wants them to say and what needs to be said for her plan to work, regardless of the solutions or regardless of the evidences found. And sure enough, Kawasa, I think it was. Let me go back to the where's the review? Okay, so there was something wrong with her water chestnut porridge. I don't know what that is, but it sounds good. Water chestnut porridge? Oh, like what? I know what it is. Never mind. Sorry, chat. I had like a brain fart, so I was like, water chestnut porridge? What is that? And then I had to put 2 and 2 together. We're back though. But yes, there was something wrong with princesses when you use water chestnut porridge. Weird name once again. The doctors that Consort Hua recommended all of a sudden are testing the foods. They're getting the silver needle, which was a way, apparently, which this wasn't true, by the way, or not true. This wasn't an effective way. It wasn't accurate, but this is what they used back in the day to test for poisons, because it would turn the needle black. And they note that nothing's poisonous. It's like harmless in itself, but there's something called cassava starch that they was used to make her porridge that would literally like cause like over time severe disruption of Princess Wenyi's digestive system. It's used for making desserts, right? And they have it as a tribute from like a vassal state or whatever. But in infants, it can cause vomiting and they can die through the like weakness of um like continuous consumption, and then through the vomiting of the continuous consumption. So like obviously the emperor's upset, the empress is like baffled, like noble lady starts crying on the floor, blah blah blah. And lo and behold, Consort Hua is like strutting around like, we need to figure out what is going on. This is obviously unfair. And all of a sudden the finger starts pointing at who? And at whom? Because the emperor's like, how could the imperial kitchen fail to distinguish certain items? Like, that doesn't make sense. And Consort Hua is like, I suppose this was like some type of attempt, you know, your majesty, maybe we should look into this, you know, kind of pushing, once again, fanning the flames, pushing this along towards her agenda. And also noble lady Sal is backing her up. She's just wailing in the background like, I should be punished for this, who could harm my daughter, blah blah blah, you know, that kind of thing. So what he does is he orders an investigation to see who or whom has cassava starch in like their palace. And like I said, lo and behold, who or whom does the finger point to? All of a sudden it starts to point to noble lady Huan. She had her maid Jinshi make some type of dessert the other day, and it was made with cassava starch. And so all of a sudden people are like, oh, what was it? Noble lady Huan, was she trying to go after noble lady Sao? What's going on? Blah blah blah. And of course we have the true evil as always, noble lady, or excuse me, Consort Hua fanning the flames, you know, saying, I'm not intending to point fingers, your majesty, but it does seem like we need to do a fair investigation. This causes noble lady Huan to immediately begin to bow, and, you know, she's like, I never would or could do such a thing. So the emperor immediately is like, okay, well, did you ever go to her palace? Did you ever enter Consort Hua's home in which Princess Yi was staying? And, you know, immediately she's not, no. I would never. Jinshi, my maid, went to go pick up the starch from the kitchen, and always Consort Hua sniping all her answers, telling her, well, this is what would happen if that were true, and can we really trust your maid? You know, she's your maid, she would vouch for you. Basically just trying to poke holes in her entire story. And I, like, honestly, chat, at this moment, I was like, oh, I think she's done for. Like, I think, like, we about to see her, like, get demoted for the next 2 to 3, like, episodes, and then deal with her, like, trying to climb back into favor. But we have Consort Huan, or if you're reading subtitles, Honit, I believe it is. It's a French name they gave her. But we see Consort Huan come save the day. She immediately lets the emperor know that none of this is true, that while Jinshi went to go get the starch to make desserts, you know, I was talking to noble lady Huan. Like, I was just having a conversation with her the other day. Or not the other day, the night or day that all this began to happen. So I'm assuming the night before, when they were talking to the empress and all this was brought to light. You know, it really probably would have gone bad. Really, probably. That sounded bad. It probably would have gone bad had Consort Huan not come in, or had Consort Huan not come in and save the day. So I also want to point out that we may have another ally on our team in the shape of Consort Huan, but, you know, I don't really trust any of these women just yet. None of them have made their intentions clear, except for a few that have gone head to head against, you know, noble lady Huan. Oh my god, Chan! My dog's here and she's just being a cutie sniffing the floor. Come here, you want to say hi? You want to say hi to chat? Let me see if I can get her. I can lure her out of the tree. Hey, what are you doing back there? She's like stuck in between the table and my computer desk. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi, Chen. Say hello, my name is Chanel. And I'm a Pomeranian. Oh. She's not too talkative today, chat. She's more sniffing around for food, but there's no food in here, mama. I think I made her upset, chat. I think she's mad that there's no food in here for her. There's only tamales, and you can't eat tamales, okay? Yeah, no, she's just, you're not gonna give me tamales? I don't want to be here. Bye, Chan. Say bye. Yeah, no. My favorite girl in the world. That was my cute little Pomeranian Chan. And she's still currently sniffing for food that doesn't exist. But anyways, I digress. Moving on to do our closing and final statements, our final thoughts on episode 17. The poor children of the imperial family have to suffer so much. Everybody's literally game in like Contrepois's eyes. She doesn't care who you are, how old you are, and what family you're from, or who family you can be from. She's gonna use you if she can, if it furthers like her goal. Like you're just an end, like you're a means to an end for most of the time, and that sucks because something tells me that because childbearing is a huge important part of being a concubine in the imperial family, something tells me that she's gonna be killing children off left and right, and that sucks as it's always a crappy plot point in some of these dramas that we have to deal with, but life goes on. Moving on, chat. We're going to be going on to our last episode of Watch Club today, episode 19. Episode 19 can be found on YouTube using Leteb or LETV on YouTube. They have a complete, comprehensive 76 episodes, all 76 episodes fully fleshed out, fully subtitled in English on YouTube. So that's what we're going to be using to watch our episodes today. Moving on. With the start of episode 19, honestly, it's always fun to see Contrepois being dealt with. She can never just leave well enough alone, and I'm really glad she just got her just desserts. But something tells me she's gonna come back 10 times harder, especially since like she had just like taken down Companion Shin, so now she's trying to come after Noble Lady Huan, and Mama's just got all her plans flushed down the drain. So while she's being dealt with and it's fun to watch, we gotta look out for the next plan that she's probably gonna be concocting in the background. We can officially say that Contrepois and Noble Lady Huan have acknowledged each other as rivals in this episode, and will probably fight head on from now on rather than like, well no, Contrepois will still fight in the shadows, but head on in the sense that there's no pleasantries, there's no smiling unless needed for the emperor, you know? And Contrepois acknowledges, in a way, acknowledges Noble Lady Huan truly as her rival and equal in this way. In all others, she does not recognize them. She does not care for them. She doesn't like really pay much to attention. Like every now and then she will force them to bow down as like a show of power and as a way to remind them of who she is. But for Noble Lady Huan, she cannot make her do that. She can't beg. She can't make her back down. She can't force her to take the bullshit, and that's causing her to really acknowledge and literally in this episode come head on, face to face, and tell her, you know, it's game. It is on like popcorn, and I'm ready to take you down. And that's probably like high praise coming from someone like her. She really doesn't see anyone as her equal. She never really will. She's just that type of person. And I think this is as close as praise as we're gonna get from her, or that Noble Lady Huan is gonna get from her. What I also really, really loved was a really sweet reunion of friends. Noble Lady Huan is so awesome, and I really love and enjoy her for this. Because at the end of the day, like, yeah, she got this to one up, or she did this to one up on to get a one-up on Concert Hua, but she still, at the end of the day, wanted to see Companion Shen. Like, she still was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna go see her. Like, yeah. And it goes to show you that, like, sisterhood is super important, and probably the main aspect and value, or main aspect to value in your friendships while in the harem, is true sisterhood. And it goes to show you, unlike a fucking Companion on, Noble Lady Wan is truly someone who cares for Companion Shen and really wants the best in her interest, despite her being in favor or out of favor. And, you know, it was heartwarming to see. Oh, Chanel's back. Hello. Would you like to speak into the camera? I think she's too shy, chat. Never mind. She kind of like looked at me and was just like, don't you dare. And I was like, ooh, okay. So, moving on, we see Companion Shen experiencing and coming to understand what it means to be loved by the Emperor. She expresses her initial feelings and then overall doubt and discontent with how the Emperor treated her and casts her aside. He didn't give her a chance to explain. He didn't even like really investigate and look into what could have happened and why she would all of a sudden pretend or feign a pregnancy, as that's not her temperament. That's not her that's not something she would do. And she kind of expresses like how she, like, yeah, she's depressed, we see that, but she also kind of expresses how like it's a bit freeing to recognize what it's like to be loved by the Emperor, and how she doesn't have to fight for favor now. She's just quietly sitting in her own corner waiting for daylight, as she hopes that all the candles don't burn out. Which is depressing in itself, chat. That one line, I was like, ooh, damn girl, you're really just sitting in your room doing nothing. That sucks ass. Like, I don't like even doing that. And I'm sitting here in my room doing nothing. But this is what I predict for Noble Lady Wan. That through the Emperor constantly questioning her intentions or outright not trusting her, it leads him to overall just casting her aside and no longer truly favoring her. He no longer gives her the option to explain herself. He just ups and throws the key. And I predict that as a fate for Noble Lady Wan, and I think she sees it as well. Like, she's trying to convince Companion Shen that it's gonna get better. She's gonna clear her name and she's gonna win the favor back for her, for the Emperor. Companion Shen's like, I don't want it. Like, this is bullshit. Like, it only took one time for Companion Shen to realize it's bullshit, and she was not with it. For better or for worse, this is probably one of the best situations, I guess you could say, for Companion Shen to be in the sense that she learned early on rather than later. And it probably saved her a lot of heartbreak in jealousy and plotting along the way. But moving on, I'm looking at the review, and what I guess too. Ooh, okay. Okay, so I had completely forgot about this because I didn't notate this in my script. But as Companion Wan was leaving from excuse me, as Noble Lady Wan was leaving from Companion Shen's room, she had to kind of hide herself in a bush, and she got caught up in being spotted by Prince Gao. And so she asked him to take her across the lake so she can get back to her room, and they get a little closer. And this is what I meant by he probably does like her. We see that he has a sachet with the little carving she made on New Year's Eve, the little the little paper mache cutout carving that she made. He has it. He found it from the tree that she put it on, and he keeps it in his sachet. And this is what I meant by like he kind of favors and likes her. And she immediately is like, I wouldn't say like turned off, but she kind of is like, oh, I'm not I'm not interested. I don't, you should probably keep that close, At least someone find that, because she knows that would probably cause misunderstandings for her and him. But she immediately, once again, observes decorum. She doesn't allow him to help her off the boat. She tells him, excuse me, while I do appreciate what you did for me, no matter what, let's not mention that we met at all, like from before or with tonight. And she would be grateful if he would agree. And that lets me know that she knows that any misstep that she makes currently would be the downfall of her and probably her friends. She knows that people are quite literally gunning for her and have eyes all over her, so much so that she is not even willing to allow Prince Go to just help her, or help lift her from the boat. He lunges, or not lunges, he reaches for her wrist to help her, and she kind of scoots her arm away and kind of avoids his touch and immediately walks off. And it's great because his face is confused. He's like, alright, what the hell? But we know that she's doing that because she doesn't want to cause any unnecessary or any undue attention her way by attracting the eyes of her enemies. They would use that. They would immediately, Concert Hall would immediately accuse her of cheating if she just so happened to saw her and Prince Gao talking. Oh yeah, for sure. But moving on, I digress, because I was getting a little too into that when I was just like, oh hell yeah, girl, you let him know what's going on. I was just so happy for her. But we see in the next scene why concubine, these names. Noble Lady Huan is truly one of my favorite characters. She is coming to confront Huan Bi. She notices that, not confront, but how do you say, what's the word? What's the word, chat? What's the word? I can't really try and find this word on Oxford Dictionary, but I am. But not necessarily confront, but what is a word, chat? It's really bothering me that I can't remember. Watch I remember as soon as I turn the stream off. Anyways, she comes back home and she kind of subtly hints at Jade that she knows what she did. And that, people reap what they sow. Especially what happened with Concubine Beauty and you, They came after me and I settled that shit. And she's kind of giving a warning. There it is. She's giving a warning. She's not confronting. She's subtly warning Huan Bi to, one, I know what you're on to. But two, that, I'm kind of, sussing you out. She, because later, after that, scene between Huan Bi and, Noble Lady Huan, Jinshi, her head maid, is talking to her, and they're kind of both, inferring how, the game is more complicated than we thought, and how that it wouldn't make sense that she would be so able to, it wouldn't make sense that Consort Hua was so able to be informed about her actions if it were not for someone in her palace. And so Jinshi and concubine, here we go again. Jinshi and Noble Lady Huan kind of infer that because the game is a little bit more complicated, they're gonna have to go about this a different way. They're gonna have to figure some things out and probably plot. It seems like they're about to plot a some type of plan to, one, bring out the snake, who I'm obviously gonna state is Huan Bi. The snake is obviously her. The drama isn't even trying to hide it. They're trying to come up with a plan to suss out the snake, but also figure out why Cao Qinmo, which is Noble Lady Sao, why she would, one, allow this to happen, because she is an underling of Consort Hua, so she would be aware of what happened, but two, why she didn't try and stop it. She used her own daughter's bait in a way to kind of not bring down Consort Hua, but she allowed it to happen as a way to then use it later in her favor against Consort Hua. There we go. And was even suspected by Noble Lady Wan and Jinshi to have actually purposefully led Consort Hua to be misinformed or purposely be informed about the actions and movements of Noble Lady Wan and trying to see concubine Shen tonight, or trying to see companion Shen tonight. Sorry if that was confusing, chat. These titles trip me up sometimes, and I'm reading it from both my script and the review I've compiled, so it's just, whew, sometimes they all run together. I apologize. But with that, our closing statements, our final thoughts. Literally, I want to give a shout out to the intelligence and the insights of Jinshi. She is the head noble maid to Noble Lady Wan, or head maid to Noble Lady Wan, and she really has earned that title for a reason. She knows how to like infer and see in between the lines. She's been in the palace long enough to know the games and schemes of these concubines, and has actually aided and actually given advice to concubine Wan to help her traverse through this palace. And I just want to give a big shout out to her because, like I said in the beginning of Watch Club, of this episode of Watch Club, these servants will literally make or break their masters. They are some of the biggest links in between the people of the palace. Their words and their rumors carry so much weight, and the fact that because they are unseen, they aren't noticed, they're considered lessers. The rumors that they spread around carry like wildfire. There's so much of them, and there's so many of them because they are unseen. It's easier for them to spread rumors and get shit around the palace and like spread false information around the palace without having repercussions placed upon them. Majority of the time. Typically, like the head maids or the servants that stand out more end up getting punished if caught for like bullshit like that. But moving on. For the time being, peace is restored. The harem has a minute to relax because Consort Hua has been detained for a little bit, if you will. We even see Huan Bi redeem herself from her treachery. Towards the end, she pledges to only serve Noble Lady Wan from now on. Woo, chat. I told you it wasn't COVID. It wasn't COVID. It's just the tamales. The seasoning from the tamales caught my throat, chat. But yeah, we even see her redeem herself from her treachery. And Companion Shen kind of gives us a little bit of a grim prediction for the future for possibly Noble Lady Wan or any of her like associates or friends, that the Emperor's love is as fickle as the wind and can blow left or right. 1 minute it's this way, the other minute it is not. And that's kind of sad, because while we know that it's hard, well, while I know one personally that it's hard to capture the heart of an emperor, let alone like one that has like many women in his harem, it's hard enough when you have someone like Consort Hua constantly battling against you, like slandering you, poisoning you, things like that. So I can only surmise that the next coming episodes are going to be super grim, but also super bright. We see that a lot of the times when Consort Hua goes against Noble Lady Wan, she's able to hold her own. She's able to hold her own, but also like come back and hit back and strike back against Consort Hua and strike her down for a minute, you know? And that's really cool, because at this time, it must really suck to see her friend go through so much trauma, and then once she's able to like actually talk to her and like make sure she's okay. Her friend's just in this depressed state of like helplessness, of, you know, being unloved. And not to mention, she had a traitor in her own house, her fucking half sister, you know? But that is all for episode 4, season 1 of Watch Club. We did Empresses in the Palace episodes 15 through 19. So once again, I'll see you all on Tuesday next week with same time. I apologize, we had to go ahead and reschedule for Thursday of this week, but we'll be back on schedule for the upcoming weeks. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a follow.